Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Thought I'd come on here, man, and jump into some scriptures today. Of course, y'all know I do my Deuteronomy study every Saturday, but it was just in my heart to put this out there about accountability right now, man. Because you got some who taking accountability and some who's not. And then we looking at it as we see it's a generation that's lacking the luster for the Most High, who believe only in themselves. They don't believe in nothing bigger than themselves right now. And what they say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And you have a generation where, because they don't believe in much of anything, they don't care for much of nothing. Because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they belong to. Most of us running here and two, trying to gain material riches, trying to be more than what we are. Because our understanding is limited to what we've been taught. But this is why the Most High is asking for his people to renew their mind. But first you got to change your heart. Because there's so many people with this feeling that ain't nobody care for me. They don't feel love. They don't feel the embrace of a family. So they choosing to go about life the way that they think that they supposed to. But this is, again, all the tactics of the enemy. To call these little nuances and division amongst us. But the King of Kings and the Judge of Judge is the Most High Yah. So I was sitting here reading Romans chapter 14. And the title of that one is called We Are All Accountable. You know, and I was sitting here talking to my brothers earlier, because I look at it, it's a lot of different information that's being spread. And the thing about free will, you could choose to follow whatever tickles your fancy. But the scripture clearly said people are going to go after the doctrine that they have itching ears for. Meaning they're not going to go for the truth, but they're going to go for what fits them. A lot of people following different religions and doctrine because it suits them, not that it's the truth. And even within the house of Israel, it's a lot of division. Especially when you talk about the law and you talk about the New Testament versus the Old Testament. Some people say you can't eat this because the dietary laws, and people of the Old Testament don't believe in Yahushua because they feel like Moses was the one who was given the laws and the commandments, so they only want to hear Yah. But when I clearly read this word, I see Yah through this whole thing from beginning to end. And that's why I hate saying Old Torah New Testament or Old Testament. Because at the end of the day, new or old, it's all bred by the Most High to instruct us to teach us, to guide us. And for those who going through this spiritual warfare, yes, the army of the enemy is raising, but so is the army of the Most High Yah. Truth is becoming apparently bad. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. People don't want the truth. I know if I'm fat, somebody tell me I'm fat, I can't get mad at that. It's the truth. I don't want you to tell me I'm skinny when I'm fat. I don't want you to tell me my breath smell good when it stink. And that's where accountability comes in. Because once you hear the truth, now it's up to you on how you going to apply that truth. Are you going to allow that truth to hinder you or help you evolve? Because as I see the division when this truth comes about, what the Messiah, Yahushua, looks like, so many people fall away because when it was a Caucasian Christ, everybody was quick to serve. Now, me personally, I don't care what color he is, because I was serving him when he was Caucasian, just as much as I serve him if he's black. But I understand that it ain't about color when it come to Yahushua. And I know for my melanin brothers and sisters, that might seem, you know, a little far-fetched. Because even before we knew, or before the truth came out, which most of us already knew the truth, but now the world knowing the truth. But even before then, we were still serving them. We can go into each one of an individual home of melanated skin complexion and see a picture of a white Jesus up on the wall with a cross and all that, which is so crazy because everything that the Most High and Yahushua tells us not to do, we was doing underneath of the faith and doctrine of Christianity. But as you get a relationship with the Most High, you realize that it's not about being seen. It's not about us being recognized. It's about the Most High getting the glory. I don't want to be walked around to be known because, oh, I got a cross on my neck, or I'm living self-righteous. Because at the end of the day, glory goes to the Most High. And if I'm in a way, then I'm taking the glory from the Most High, and that's causing pride. And that's how men get puffed up in their position. Because at the end of the day, they think that they supposed to get the recognition. And that ain't the case. But we all got to be held accountable. And I was listening to a brother who was speaking the other day, and he was talking about how, I think he go by the name of Smart. I believe he's a rapper. How because of the things the white man done to us and the rape that he done to us and our people, we victims. So no matter what we do, we shouldn't look at each other outside of that line of being victims. And I'm not giving nobody no pass like that. Because at the end of the day, we all human beings. We all know right from wrong. So if we doing something outside of the will of not even the Most High right now, just out of the moral principle and the moral compass. And because you don't have the Most High, you don't have a compass of morality. But we was all taught, most of us, in elementary and school, right from wrong. You know, that's something you learn as a baby. You know, if you do X, Y, and Z, that's wrong. You know, you was taught to treat people the way you want to be treated. Now, do everybody ascribe to that and obey that? No. Because you got people who are narcissistic that treat you so evil, but then they don't want to get treated like that. You got a person who will take your life in a heartbeat, but if they was on the other end of that barrel, most likely they'd have been crying and asking for you to have mercy on them. So no, it's a double-edged sword. What they call it, it's a double entendre. Because at the end of the day, people ask for something, but they don't really want what they ask for. We want the truth, but we can't handle the truth. So I'm just going to give you a couple of scriptures, verses from this chapter that I was reading. It's Romans chapter 14. It says, first verse, him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputation. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. For y'all have received him. So it's kind of going back to what I was saying. You know, people who obey the laws, and again, if you ain't obeying the whole law, you can't obey the law at all. This is why we have grace. This is why we have Yahushua. But you got people who want to live by the Torah. And this is just how the Pharisees and the Sadducees was. The Talmud Jews, they believed in the Torah, but they didn't believe in Yahushua. They couldn't receive Yahushua. And I believe that some of the Judaist Jews today are the same way. Because it was a guy seen speaking, and he was just saying how he don't believe in the New Testament. And that's not all. But that just go to say, I can't judge that man no more than I want to be judged from the Most High for the things that I've done. See, if I'm steady paying attention to the things that I'm doing and hold myself accountable, I ain't got no place to be worried about what the next man doing and trying to judge him if he eating pork or if he eating unhealthy. Because he could be eating unhealthy, but if he got a love for the Most High and the Most High received him, who am I to say different? It's just like that verse about the Republican who came in and he was saying how he was this, and he was just beating on his chest on how great he was, and he wasn't a sinner. And then you had the other guy come in after him and say how much he was a sinner and he was repentant. Almost like the two dudes that was on the cross next to Yahushua, you know. One was remorseful and repentful. The other one was mocking the Most High, talking about, you the Son of God, well, why don't you get us down from here, this and that. See, when you testing the spirit by the spirit, you know those spirits that's coming maliciously, those spirits who coming from the enemy. And this is the thing about walking with the Most High, because he's giving you discernment. So we got to hold ourselves accountable. We have to pay attention to what we doing and not what the next man doing. But understand, if you are walking this walk, you're going to always be under the scrutiny eye. You're going to always be watched. Because the enemy is what? The accuser. The deceiver. He's always looking for a reason to accuse you. But don't give it to them. And that's why I thank the Most High for my helpmate. I thank the Most High for my wife, for the simple fact, as I always come and I'm being transparent. And like I said, I didn't want to make this long. I just thought that this verse stood, these chapters in Romans stood out to me. But I find myself in this warfare, like I say, because we got to die daily to the flesh. The thing about the enemy is he want to keep you in your flesh. So he sends his agents, he sends his little demons and minions to do all that they can do to disrupt your peace, your shalom. See, man, a mental, spiritual battle is way more worse than a physical battle. At least a physical battle, you see it, you can respond to it, it's head on. But a mental and a spiritual battle is coming from a place where you're not even paying attention. It's coming from a place that you can't even see. And this is why the Most High is your compass. This is why you need the discernment that only He can give you. Because the devil is known for throwing a rock and hiding his hand. Because his thing is, he's trying to make you look crazy. He's trying to make you seem like something you're not. And this is why we pray that we stay away from temptation. Because they gonna come. Every day is a battle. But as I always say, your first battle is with yourself. So if you're not holding yourself accountable, you're going to always be looking outward as the world. These demons, the devils, that's your problem. Nah. Even though I'm transparent and I tell you, yes, I go through a battle, but it's me. Because at the end of the day, it's the way I respond. It's the way that I do things. It's the way that I handle the situation. So I don't blame nobody. But I'm not going to act like it ain't demons and devils around us. Of course, those they are. But first you have to understand yourself. And like I left in my last video, spending time with yourself is spending time with the Most High. Spending time with the Most High is spending time with yourself. Isolation is not a bad thing. Being unto yourself is not a bad thing. But most people can't do it because we've been conditioned that we feel like we have to be a part of something, when the Most High is clearly trying to set us apart from something. But He's trying to make us holy. For He said, "I be holy, for I am holy." That's all we set apart being. He said, we in this world, but we not of this world. So don't conform to the things around you just so you can fit in or feel like you need to be a part of it. No. You continue to stand out. You continue to shine. You continue to worship. You continue to praise. You continue to move forward. You continue to drink your water, fast and pray. You continue to stay in your word. I'm just here to encourage you to stay the course. Like I said, this ain't a race. This is a marathon. Some days gonna be better than others. Some days you might not make it through, or you feel like you're not gonna make it through. But trust and believe, you made it to see another day. Then the Most High had favor on you. We say joy come in the morning. It's just joy enough to wake up. It's joy enough to be able to be back in the presence of the Most High. So with that being said, man, I was going to say, man, really dive into these scripts. That's the medicine. Like I said, that's the medicine for the bone, but that's the medicine for the spirit, man. Excuse me. It's healing. You know, how can you fight a spiritual warfare without your weapons? Keep the armor on. Keep your your sword sharpened. Keep your shield up. As I always say, you guard your heart from the enemy, but you expose it to the Most High. Pray for discernment. Pray for shalom. Pray for wisdom. So with that being said, man, shalom, peace. Stay in the fight, family.